Welcome back to this week's episode of Clothing Brief, bringing you key topics trending in our industry through conversations that shape tomorrow today. We're coming to you a little later than usual today. It's Cinco de Mayo, and there's all kinds of post-Met Gala conversations happening, a lot of buzz. So we wanted to make sure and get all the stories together for you. And we're going to make sure to cover some of those fun stories like the Met Gala, but we've got to hit some of the heavy news first. Today is kind of a day beyond Cinco de Mayo.
Well, it's a day that
story.
Again, we're talking about T's, right?
Yes.
Tariffs. Today, we've got the public hearings that are beginning for Section 301 tariffs. The current administration, or the conversation is that the current administration is conducting these hearings to try to establish if there's any unfair trade practices. And they're focusing on India, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Cambodia, China, and Mexico. If they feel like they've found kind of these unfair trading practices, the general conversation is that they're trying to create reason as the Section 122 tariffs expire coming up in July
to lay in a new one,
that they can lay in this new one. Okay. And so the hearings begin today, and we'll see what happens with these investigations.
Okay. Some sad news. Doris Fisher, the co-founder of The Gap, who shaped American style, has passed away at 94. So she has had a great impact on our industry and had a fabulous life.
Yeah, kind of started as a family business. She founded in 1969 with her husband, Donald Fisher. And boy, has it grown up. What a amazing heritage, blown up into multiple areas, kind of lost their way, and now seems to be finding their way. And so
well, beyond the success in the story of The Gap, she was a significant philanthropist. That's kind of a tricky word to say sometimes. Yeah. Art collector. She's donated over 1,000 works of art to the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, and supports a lot of educational initiatives. I'm sure her legacy will continue to live on for many, many years.
And probably way ahead of her time. She was really kind of known to be the voice of the customer, right? And at a time like before the last probably 5 to 8 years where this whole thing shifted, brands kind of told the customer what to do, and she listened to the customer. And that's really interesting, because today that's a big dialogue. Listen to the customer. Customer drives conversation and drives direction in branding.
That's so wonderful. So last week, we talked with great enthusiasm about the release of Devil Wears Prada 2. This is 20 years later. And we wanted to give you a little update as to kind of what the industry is saying. I can tell you my personal feelings, because I had a chance to go to the premiere in St. Louis.
The critics were kind of mixed.
There is a
as
mix.
You can expect for a sequel, right?
Yeah, it's always hard.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expectations on storyline, fashion. How well do they pick up the ball and move it on down. I would tell you it was a little bit more Hallmarkian in style, because it didn't have a lot of those, the surprise twists and turns you kind of anticipate, and the resolution you kind of anticipate as well. Mm-hmm. But for me, I find great comfort in that style of film. So I thought it was a great joy, and the fashion did not disappoint. There was some shifts in power dynamics, which I thought was really, really interesting. And they definitely talked about a lot of the key conversations that we talk about quite frequently. So it's performing really well at the box office. It is considered a commercial success, $33 million on opening day in the United States, with a projection of $80 million opening weekend. So not too shabby.
No.
200 million globally.
Hey, they're off to a good start. Fashion still draws crowds.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. A brand that's been doing some fun things from a marketing perspective, Wrangler.
Yeah.
This is kind of cool. They're using some of those guerrilla techniques. This is something that we talk often with brands about as they're looking to evolve their marketing strategies. And they're recent tactics in alignment with Stagecoach Festival are also deemed quite a success. They did some very cool things.
Yeah, OOH. Out of home marketing. Ooh, right? You just want to go, ooh.
Yes.
They focused on billboards and, at the airport and the carousel and different points of marketing. They even did this kind of cool, and you've talked about this a ton, creating these cool kind of Spotify music playlists.
Yes.
And the statistics on Spotify are kind of remarkable.
It's amazing. The conversion rate's very, very high. I'm seeing numbers like 20% conversion, which I've got to vet that out a little bit. That seems extraordinary to me. But it's very.
If it is, you'll be hearing us sing the episode next time.
You'll be hearing
the entire thing. We're going to sing it in harmony.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was really cool. This is a festival that falls in alignment with Coachella. There's always a great deal of enthusiasm for the bands, the fashion, the cultural, footprint and all of those things that happen during this time. And I think that they kind of tagged along that in a really interesting way. And people are celebrating that success.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Final story. Met Gala 2026. Fashion is art. This is very, very, I would say, always a fun time of year to take a look at what hits that red carpet. Of course, Met Gala is a fundraiser and there's a fantastic art exhibition in alignment with this fundraiser. And there's a very polarizing conversation happening right now about what was a success and what wasn't a success.
I got to tell you, it's very fun. Not only did a lot of folks there wear art literally.
Yes.
Right? Anna Wintour and the Mona Lisa. Some of them became art.
Right. That's true. Heidi Klum.
Yeah. And that's not surprising for Heidi.
No,
At Halloween, she goes all out.
Yeah.
She became a statue. She
Yeah.
became this kind of Greek or Roman statue. And it was a little unnerving knowing what was underneath, but they went all, I was really intrigued with some of the looks.
Yeah, I would tell you, I agree with you. I think it was pretty exciting there to see the different interpretations. And you're right, some people took it really literally and became art, or their outfit wasn't the style of a specific painting or artist style. And meanwhile, others took the cue of the exhibition itself, which really features fashion through the ages and how it is either represented on a body or inspired by the body, all shapes and sizes of bodies,
body
and
parts,
body parts, and body challenges, and all of those things. And so there were people having that dialogue about fashion and the body. There were a lot of people making, of course, their own personal statements. Some of the rejection of the gala has been concerns over the kind of billionaire takeover, if you will. So there were a few people that were really leaning in on that conversation. But
let's be honest, it's always been a bit of an elitist event, right? Not everyone can just show up.
What is it, 100,000 a ticket? Something like that. So it's always a fun night. We had an opportunity to experience our own local version. FGI in St. Louis hosted a watch party, and I got to tell you, it was a great success. There were designers from the entire community that were on exhibition, as well as walking a runway and photography meets artist collaboration, 10 different works of art on display, and even a very young up and coming designer superstar, who stole the show. So it was a fun night, and it's always great to get a chance to, welcome people to be a part of fashion in a new and different way. Yeah. Well, those are our highlights this week. Of course, we have on our longer format Clothing Culture podcast more episodes. We have 2 more rolling out yet this season before we recalibrate and focus on season 6 already. Isn't that crazy? Yes. So don't forget to subscribe to stay apprised of upcoming conversations.